Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Alex, and some of you might not know me, and that's alright. That's because it's my first ever YouTube channel. So, yeah, welcome. Um, because this is my first ever YouTube video, and it's like 200,000 miles away from my comfort zone, I think it's a pretty good time to talk about fear. So, we have a very old brain, right? And our brain still thinks that we're gonna go out there and fight some saber-toothed tigers, right? Which clearly we're not. The only thing that I'm fighting right now is the urge to eat another bowl of cereal. Our brains aren't meant to make us happy. Um, they're wired to keep us alive, even though being alive and living life can be two separate things. So, because of fear, fear doesn't allow us a lot of the times to do what we truly want and live to our up to our full potential. So, what happens is that we typically take the path of least resistance, even though that's not the path that we really want to take. But because again, it's the one with least resistance, it's the easiest for us. We're not gonna have to suffer. We're not gonna feel all this stress. So yeah, we're gonna take that, whether it be I don't know, a career path that you want to take, but it's gonna take so much of you, and it's just way out of your comfort zone. Then of course, probably you're probably not gonna do it, at least not now, because it's so out of your comfort zone, right? And yeah, like I experience that all the time too. That I get super stressed out or nervous about doing something. I mean, this is perfect example. Um, but if we always take the path of least resistance, what kind of life do we really expect to be living, right? Just like a perfect example, the gym. Let's say you go to the gym. If you take a, I don't know, if you can, your body can actually take a 30, 40 pound dumbbell, but it's uncomfortable to you. So you just want to be like, oh, you know what? I'm working now. I'm just going to do a 10 pounder. That's not going to do much, right? I know it sounds so like a typical no pain no gain, but it's true. Like we gotta go through that resistance, that way we can grow, because our brains developed like I don't know, like 100 200 million years ago. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. um, we basically get the same response as we would, or as our ancestors did back in the day when they were fighting a saber-toothed tiger. So their body, your brain releases all these cortisol and adrenaline, cortisol being the stress hormone. And now whenever we see something that scares us, we get the same response, right? We get the same response even though it's not the same situation, because we live in a modern world. But to us, doing something scary, like I don't know, something that you're basically stepping out of your comfort zone. In this case, for me, this YouTube channel, right, or maybe it can be for you as well. Um, we don't we get scared, so then our brain starts signaling danger, danger, don't do it, right? And then that's when we start basically just overthinking, procrastinating, getting in our head, and just trying to talk ourselves out of it. And that's why a lot of times people don't do what they truly want to do in life, because of that fear, and that you know what, screw it, I'm not gonna do it. Whether it be you wanting to join the football team and deciding not to, or trying to talk yourself out of it because you might think that you're, I don't know, too fat, too skinny, too short, um, too weak, who knows? Or maybe you want to ask out the pretty girl out, or maybe the handsome dude with the pretty hair just like mine. And I don't know, you're at the bar, right? The pretty girl's right there. She's like 30 feet away from you. So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to her. Screw it. And you're walking towards her, and your brain's like, no, dude, danger, danger, danger. That's dangerous. You don't want to do that. And you're like, you know what? Override. I got this. I got this. So you start walking towards her, and you're like 10 feet away. You're like, oh man, you're like sweating. Your palms are sweaty. You're a little bit shaky. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But then once you're like 10 feet away from her, she turns around and you guys make eye contact. And you're like, oh, okay. And you're at that point, you're just like, your brain's just like, dude, abort mission, man. We've been compromised. You gotta dip, man. You gotta dip. So then what you do is like fear just takes over you. What do you do? You turn around. You're like, oh, I gotta use the restroom. I'm out. And you dip because your brain was like, dude, you're gonna die. You're walking towards your death. So your brain convinces you. You talk yourself out of it, and you dip. And even though we're not walking towards our death, even though you might feel like it, or we might want to die of embarrassment, but you spin yourself and you'll see you're still alive and kicking. But look, guys, my point with all this is we all have fear, right? Out of all the books that I've read, and it's been like 5 million books, and all the YouTube videos, all I watch on YouTube is pretty much just business and self-development, and maybe some babies falling on their face, some kids falling on their face every now and then. Just kidding. Or am I? But my point is, we all have fear, right? They've all said the same thing. All business owners, they all said the same thing. They all felt fear, and they all felt anxiety. They all felt like they weren't enough. And at the end of the day, they just went out and did it anyway. You know what I mean? They felt that fear, and they're like, you know what? Screw it. I want to live a better life, right? And same for me. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you have a good career. Maybe you love what you do. I don't know. I don't even know if anyone's watching this, but you guys as well. I'm sure all of you guys want to live your best life, right? And I'm sure you all have fears as well, right? Maybe you got a fear of rejection, maybe fear of not being enough, maybe fear of I don't know, whatever it is, right? Something's probably holding you down, and if not, then dude, that's awesome. Keep killing it. But I do want to encourage you guys to just educate yourselves, learn, and every day try to do something out of your comfort zone, even if it's just something very small. But hey, one step is one step, right? The next day, another step. Next thing you know, at the end of the year, that's 365 steps out of your comfort zone. So I do want to encourage you guys to just do that, and trust me, it'll change your life. I know it has with mine. I am a way different person than I've been even just 1 year ago. Shoot, even just yesterday. Yesterday I felt like eating pasta. Now I feel like eating pizza. Anyway, but yeah, it's about to get dark, and I gotta go eat.